We're back, Suicide Fantasy Football, wrapping up the playoffs, telling you who's going to be in the AFC Championship, NFC Championship, and then who's at the end holding up the Lombardi Trophy, talking about going to Disneyland.
If you're on the West Coast and you're getting this, you're probably going to get it about midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, West Coast time. Hurry up, get on a plane, go to Vegas. You'll win some money if you listen.
To you?
To me.
Yeah, I will say this. When Jim doesn't bet, he usually is right. Ask him if he's putting any money on it at all.
I'm not betting on it.
All right, who you got in the AFC?
AFC Championship game, I have the Pats against the Chargers. I think the Chargers, they had the number 1 rated offense last year, the number 1 rated defense last year. They lost 4 games on special teams. They lost some heartbreaking games. I think this year they come back. They play in a weak division. I think they probably get home field advantage or the number 2 seed, which gives them the bye. So they only really have to win 2 games to get to the Super Bowl. And I think that they're going to be, the ones that come in there, the Pats and the Chargers.
You know what, the Chargers, they always do well, but they seem to kind of fall apart in the playoffs, or I would like that call. I am going AFC East in the AFC Championship game, and I am going Jets-Pats in the AFC Championship game. Listen, Jets, I know you don't like the Jets, Jim, but they've got such a strong defense.
I like the Jets. I just think this year they take a step back. You see teams when they're about to become elite. Peyton Manning did it. A couple guys did it. I think this is Sanchez's year to really struggle and then next year come back.
I think they had a lot of the pieces of the puzzle. I think Plaxico Barris is a big addition. Listen,
they don't throw the ball.
It doesn't matter. They've also got Sean Green, who I think is finally ready to come through and be the beast that they want him to be, the 300-carry guy.
He's a South Jersey guy, so I won't say bad stuff about him.
And then they still got LaDainian Tomlinson as a good third down back, catching him out of the backfield. I just think that this is the year that they've added the right pieces of the puzzle while keeping everybody that they needed, and they're going to make it really far in the playoffs. All right, how about the NFC?
NFC, I have the Eagles playing the Saints in Philadelphia.
Okay.
I think the Saints have
home field.
Yeah. Well, I think, we'll talk about my Super Bowl later, but I think it's going to be in Philly. I think the Eagles have a pretty fair road this year to be 11-5, 12-4, and get the number 1 seed. Go for the bye. I think the NFC South is going to beat the crap out of each other. I think the Central is going to beat the crap out of each other, and I think the Eagles are in the East, and they're not going to play those really tough knock-'em, drag-out games that other teams are going to have to play.
I like the Eagles, too. I have the Eagles in the NFC Championship game, although I have them playing in Atlanta against the Falcons. I think the Falcons are that team that was right there last year and just needed a little bit extra. I think they added some defensive players. I think they added the right amount of offensive players, another weapon for Matt Ryan. Tony Gonzalez getting a little bit old. What do you mean?
Matt Ryan is Reggie Miller.
What, the guy who can always get there and never get...
Yeah, they do some cool things. They're
always the bridesmaid, never a bride.
They never do it.
I don't know, dude. I think Matt Ryan, Matty Ice, is the guy who's going to vault.
He's got a better nickname than he does stats because he's 1-0. Me and him have as many playoff wins.
I don't care if he has no playoff wins. There's lots of people that have no playoff wins till they make it another time, and this is the year.
There's lots of people with really cool names like Matty Ice that have no playoff wins. Give me one more.
Boston Gay was the man in college. He doesn't have to always be the man in the pros. This is what, his third year? This is what, his third year? I mean, Flacco came in at the same time.
Yeah, and he's made it to.
Yeah, because he's had a better team than Matt Ryan's had. Yeah. He's had the defense of all defenses to be able to take him to those playoff wins. Mm-hmm. It hasn't been the offense that's helped Flacco win in the playoffs. So I'm going Matt Ryan against the Eagles, although I've got the Eagles beating them in the NFC Championship game and going to the Super Bowl.
Who's your Super Bowl?
I have the Super Bowl being a rematch of 2005. I have the Eagles playing the Patriots, except this time I have me celebrating on Broad Street as the Eagles win a Super Bowl for the first time ever.
And Eric copied off me.
I did not copy off you.
Whenever he's right, he copies off me.
I didn't copy. See, I have it written right there. I didn't copy.
I have my date stamp right here that shows prior to that. Eagles, Pats, I agree.
And you have the Eagles winning it?
I have the Eagles winning it. But you know what? The main reason that I put the Eagles Patriots on is because I put that on the website 2 weeks ago. Okay. I got to be really honest as it stands right now, the night before the season starts. I really think it's going to be the Chargers. But I don't want to.
You're saying Eagles Chargers and Eagles beating the Chargers in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I think the Chargers are gonna really put some pressure on this year. I think Norv Turner's eventually gonna choke because he's a choker. But
that's what I think. Like you say, Matt Ryan. I think Phillip Rivers. I think Norv Turner. I think they're the team that chokes.
Yeah, well, at least they've been to an AFC Championship game before.
And
Matt Ryan's never won anything.
Yeah, you're right. Lots of people never won until they win.
Yeah.
All right, that's what we think is going to happen in the playoffs. Tell us what you think. Jim at SuicideFantasySports.com.
Super Bowl.
Eric at SuicideFantasySports.com. Check us out on Facebook, Suicide Fantasy Football, Twitter, SFFcom, Blog Talk Radio, Wednesday nights, 7:30 to 8:30, Fantasy Football Overload, and still got a little bit of time left to sign up for the Ultimate Fantasy Game Challenge. Everybody, and prove you know matchups better than they do. SuicideFantasyFootball.com combines the one-and-done aspect of a suicide pool with traditional fantasy football.